What happened to the Penguin's leg? One of the most striking traits in the Penguin character is his particular way of walking. And in the HBO series has been no exception. In this video, we'll be taking a look at what happened to the Penguin, and how this could influence the future of his character. Like other iconic antagonists in the DC universe such as the Joker, the Penguin's limitations could become his greatest strength. And for more videos from the DC universe, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Before we start with this video, and to celebrate the arrival of the Penguin series, we will be giving away a Funko Pop from the Batman movie. To participate, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and leave a comment telling us who is your favorite character from the DC universe and why. The winner will be announced on October 31st. To understand what's going on with the Penguin's leg and how it connects to his story, it's important to know that the way he walks hasn't always been explained in the same way. In different versions of his character, the reasons for his peculiar gait vary. In some comics, his limp is the result of severe leg injuries, while in the Gotham series and other more recent adaptations, his gait has a genetic origin. In many classic comics of Batman, the explanation for the Penguin's limp is related to injuries sustained during his life of crime. For example, in some stories, Oswald Cobblepot is shown to have been brutally attacked by other criminals, the police or even Batman, leaving him with permanent physical sequelae. These injuries not only explain his gait, but also fuel his resentment towards Batman and the world around him. But what about when it comes to Matt Reeves' series and universe known as the Batman Epic Crime Saga? The origin of the Penguin's leg problems have a genetic origin. It seems that he was born with a deformity in his leg. During an interview with the showrunner of the Penguin series, it was mentioned the reason why the Penguin is limping in the movie and why it was revealed in the series. Part of the IGN story reads as follows: "Who he is inside is what informs the darker choices he makes. It's not because he has a disability. The Penguin reveals that Oz Cobb was born with a clubfoot, and that he wears a brace to help him walk, albeit with a distinctive limp." Lauren LaFranc, the showrunner, says the following: "For me, I thought it was very important to show his clubfoot in the first episode, because in the movie you're not quite sure why he limps, and I wanted to firmly establish why, and to show the level of pain that he puts himself through, but doesn't speak about it. Also, this is nothing that we've ever put on camera. But in my mind, because if you have a clubfoot, now there's a surgery you can get, and that often people do. And so, for my reasoning as to why he doesn't, he grew up with very little money. He didn't come from anything, and his mother didn't decide to spend the money on a surgery like that. Also, because she doesn't see it as a disability. She doesn't see it as a problem. She sees it as a way for him to strengthen himself. Something I was conscious of are the sort of comic book tropes that have come before, of those who are other, those who have disabilities, those who have scars on their face. They're often easily depicted as the villain, and I think it's just an unfortunate thing in our comic book history, and I wanted to try to disrupt that as much as possible. So for me, it was important to show that Oz, psychologically, is a damaged person. Who he is inside is what informs the choices and the darker choices he makes. It's not because he has a disability. It's not based on the way that he looks. Of course, that's an aspect of his character, but that's not solely and predominantly why. So that was something that was always very important to me." Mike Marino, the makeup designer, says the following: "Oz is stocky. He's powerful. He's got a lot of muscle under there, so he is not just this large guy. He's got a certain body type. He's got a warrior, a soldier's body, and if you really analyze, if you could see any of it, there's some scars on it and some things like that." Lauren and her team of people wrote that scene, and little did I know, after we figured it all out, that it was shot in the daylight. Complete daylight. I thought maybe it would be he's inside this space and it's nighttime and we have some forgiving light, which always helps a makeup. But no, We were at high noon. Bright sun inside of a greenhouse, and we were like, oh boy, this is now twice the challenge it was in the first place to show his body and to show his hair. The penguin has suffered from a condition since birth, which means he has lived in constant pain since childhood. He is a character scarred by suffering, but instead of letting himself be defeated, he has used his intellect to excel in the world of crime, becoming a powerful figure within the Gotham mob. The condition that affects the penguin's leg in the series is called clubfoot. It is a congenital deformity that causes the foot to be twisted or turned inward, which affects the way he walks and can cause pain if left untreated. In the HBO series of The Penguin, this aspect is highlighted to explain why Oswald Cobblepot limps and has a life marked by that physical limitation. It is interesting how, in contrast to the Joker, who manifests a mental disorder, the Penguin has a physical limitation. Both villains channeled their respective ailments and turned them into fuel for their vengeance against society. In the Penguin's case, chronic pain has shaped his character. He is a man who is unafraid of pain because it is the only thing he has known throughout his life. Unlike the Penguin, Sophia has grown up surrounded by power and violence, never having known the physical limitations or chronic suffering that Oswald has endured. Rather than becoming completely dehumanized by his pain, it is possible that the Penguin, having lived in constant struggle, develops an empathy that Sophia could never have. She is a child of power, while he has been shaped by suffering. This difference could position him as an unexpected figure in Gotham. Perhaps not as a hero in the classic sense, but as someone willing to confront darkness while Batman ponders his mission. The Penguin's condition, more than a simple physical weakness, could be what makes him more human in the eyes of others. His injured leg, which has always been part of his life, could become a symbol of his resistance and struggle to survive in a world that has marginalized him. This constant pain may be what makes us empathize with him, allowing us to better understand why he has chosen such a dark path. Throughout his life, the Penguin has been underestimated because of his appearance and physical limitations, but he has shown that he has the cunning and intelligence necessary to stand out in Gotham's world of crime. What's interesting is how, despite being a villain, he has the potential to become a figure that the people of Gotham could come to sympathize with. He may not do so for altruistic or moral reasons, but his actions could have an impact that ends up changing the future of the city forever. Meanwhile, the Penguin continues to build his criminal empire, spreading his influence through the streets of Gotham. His rise to power threatens the balance of the city, and only the Dark Knight seems to be able to stop him. However, the big question remains: where is Batman in all of this? Gotham seems to be on the brink of chaos, and with the Penguin gaining ground, Batman's absence is felt more than ever. The Penguin could become more than just a villain. Unlike other antagonists, his constant physical pain and life of suffering set him apart. But tell me, what do you think about all this? Do you think the Penguin will be a character we will come to empathize with as we did with the Joker? Could it be that behind his actions there is a deep understanding of pain and human nature? Share your thoughts in the comments. And for more content about your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on The Oasis Geek.